everyone and welcome back to my channel. It has been a long time since I post a video on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here with me today. In this video, I will show you step by step how I sketch and paint with a pen and watercolors. You probably noticed that I use the exact tools in almost every video on my channel simply because they are so convenient to bring everywhere. This is a photo I took during my trip to Malacca, Malaysia. The old house there has so many beautiful buildings and I fell in love with all of them. I took a lot of photos on my phone to draw later. You can download this reference photo from my link I pinned in the description box. Furthermore, because the building has a vertical structure, I will place my paper horizontally to capture the full scenes. There are a lot of detail on this house, but when sketching, I won't try to copy all of them onto paper. Instead, I will select the special features that make this house interesting and standing out from the rest of the street. So I will start with the basic sketch. Whichever big shape you see first, draw them first. After that, we'll have foundation of the house with each column, balcony, and doors. The next step is drawing the decorations. As you can see, there are many hanging lanterns with the feature we definitely cannot skip. I use a pencil to sketch out the house before going in the pen. If you are a beginner, you should always start with a pencil. It makes it easier to change things you don't like. But remember, it is just a draft, so don't stress yourself out trying to make it perfect. A draft doesn't need to be perfect. After sketching the house, you can adjust the height and size, which is much more important than the decoration. And remember, do not use an eraser right now. We will move to part 2 using the pen. You can use any pen or ink color you like, but the most common and useful one is what I am using here. It's waterproof and specifically designed for sketching and watercolor wash. There are many brands out there. You can use the same one I do. It's very affordable and the quality is great. Just remember not to drop your pen on the floor because the nib can easily break. In the second part, we will redraw the painting, but this time with a pen. I honestly really like this step because I don't have to stare at the reference photo anymore. It's quite relaxing. You can add finer details, include anything you like, or fix a mistake from the pencil sketch, but do it slowly because we cannot hit the Ctrl Z or undo here. Once the ink is down, it stays. Part 3 is painting with watercolors. I use this specific set in almost every video. You can easily buy it at any stationery store or bookstore. Regarding the quality, I have to say it's really good for the price and it's very compact. If you have enough space at home to paint comfortably, I recommend investing in a better quality set with a wider color palette. But anyway, as a beginner, we can always start with this first before investing in expensive supplies. When using watercolor, Try not to mix many colors together, maximum 3 colors, and avoid mixing in black. It also depends on the quality of your paint, but with this specific set, I suggest not mixing more than 3 colors. If you want to make a color darker, you can paint layer by layer. Just wait until the first layer is completely dry before applying the next one. This is the method I highly recommend. To be honest, I haven't painted in a long time. I was busy with another job. Sometimes I feel like that job isn't worth my time. It's give me money to survive, not to actually live. I don't know, a lot of things about it make me upset and anxious. This YouTube channel is like my comfort zone, a place I can always come back to release my pain and create new things. Sometimes I feel lucky that I know how to paint. It is not just a hobby, it's a way for me to reduce stress and calm my mind. What matters most to me right now is peace of mind. When you live in an environment that is constant, stressful, busy, and chaotic, keeping your mind peaceful is not easy. I believe that when your mind is calm, you create a clean and clear space to think and make a better decision. Looking back what I done and the choice I have made, I realize that most of the time I make decisions when I was in trouble, like the last reason. It was always in the middle of chaos, and when my mood was unstable, feeling like I was moving too slowly for the speed everyone else were catching up to. I have a lot of hobbies and so many things I want to do, but the older I get, the more I realize I don't have enough patience for finish anything. I started many things with a poor intuition, only stopped after 2 weeks without seeing any results. I know this trait about myself, and I still wonder is because I'm not patient enough, or because those things just wasn't meant to me. It's the same when we paint. During the process, there are the moments when the painting looks terrible and I just want to stop or grab a new piece of paper. But somehow when I choose to trust the process, I push through to the end. Most of the time I end up loving what I did, glad that I didn't give up on it. I hope you also trust your own process and give it a chance to see how beautiful the result can be. Even if it might not seem special to others, who cares? You spend 1 or 2 hours creating it, so it deserves a compliment from yourself for your efforts and patience. Whenever life gets to be too much, I remember I have this one thing I can do to feel better, so I come back here. I hope you can start painting right now and keep it as a hobby for your free time. Life changes very quickly and things can feel unstable, but we have finally finished the painting. Thank you so much for watching and painting with me. See you next time. Bye.